fall at TechEd, I spoke to some of your colleagues and they said there's going to be a huge new investment, and I think Sanjay Poonen talked to me about this, a lot of investment put into Afaria. What can we expect to see out of that investment?
Lots of cool stuff. So we've done a lot around the cloud, from enabling our cloud partners, scalability. If you look at, again, one of the strengths of Afaria has been very large deployments. We have some of the largest in the world, and we can't say much about it soon, but we're going to break the news on a massive deployment coming up. So always a lot of investment scalability. The mobile content side has been driving a lot of that. So the remediation on the Afaria part, the auto configuration. I mentioned applications a few minutes ago. Applications they're king in SAP. We have lots of, we're building applications. We have tools to help you build applications. That's going to continue to be a focus for us. Late last year, we shipped a new application portal to allow users to easily download apps. That's something we've had for years. But as we see, when we first launched it, the average company had 1 to 5 applications. The interface didn't have to be real rich. We have customers that have 200 applications now. So, like the documents case, the applications, discovery is very important. So if I'm an SAP employee and I live in Waldorf, Germany, one of the most used apps is the lunch menu app. So I can sit at my desk and see what we're having for lunch that day. Makes it very simple. If I'm a North American-based employee, I don't care about the Waldorf lunchroom app, but based on my role in the company, I have certain featured categories of apps that pop up for me. If I'm in sales, the sales folder is going to be prominent. A lot of graphical, niceties. It's really a user portal, so we want to give users a feel that this is the place where I get my applications. I should go back. It can be branded for companies, and so if you look at our big pillars, content, application management, lots of investment in those areas, cloud, scalability, all key areas.
So talk to me about the business model in which Afaria is offered. I don't need pricing. I just want to know, are you guys offering subscriptions? Is it a license thing? How do you offer it?
Yeah, so probably the most important thing to understand about Afaria pricing right out of the gate is we price per user, which is significantly different than most all of our competitors. Some of them have wised up some, and they're starting to change to per user pricing. It makes a lot of sense for BYOD. I don't know how many devices an employee may bring in. I've got an iPad, I've got an iMini, Mini, I've got an Android tablet. The last thing I want to do is have an employee have to pay or have a cost center where there's a payment for each device they have.
Oh, so the difference is it's not by device, it's by user.
Correct.
So if the person logs in under one username, they can have all their devices on that same.
Correct. And so now, IT is not trying to restrict the number of devices you can have for cost reasons. They're open. They're saying, if you get a different device, bring it in. You want to use, your Android tablet, or you've got 2 phones. We see a lot of people have more than one device, and we don't want to charge we want to charge by user, not by device. So that's a change we made a couple of years ago.
Awesome.
And we've been very happy there.
Another new booth that you have downstairs here is talking about MDM, machine to machine, or the Internet of Things. Talk to me about the role of Afaria in that whole space.
Yeah. So that's an area that SAP has done a lot of work in. We've actually started to focus more and more on the device management side. And again, the biggest thing there is it becomes a scale problem. If you listen to Sanjay Poonen, I believe we have a couple of his videos up. He really, we talk about the growth. So, originally, if you look at Afaria, and a company had 1,000 devices, it's about managing those 1,000 devices. All of a sudden, now you throw on 10 or 20 apps, and things get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 1,000 device deployment becomes a 10,000 point problem, where now I've got to worry about all these things. You throw content on top of that, and the growth of this just gets bigger and bigger. And now you throw MDM in there, it gives scale a whole new meaning. Millions and millions of devices. So we've started to do a lot of work around HANA on YouTube. You can see, if you look for Afaria on HANA, you'll see a whole MDM video that's pretty slick, where we set up a prototype around end-to-end with Afaria usage and HANA. So a lot of investment there. A lot of the initial stuff, at least on the Afaria side, is that just being able to make sure we can manage the high.
So are you guys looking to identify wireless chips in smart appliances and smart machines as endpoints for Afaria?
Yes.
Okay.
So again, there's a lot of different technology out there, and not a lot of standards. So we're going through and working through partnerships where we picking platforms we think matter the most first.
Very good. Well, James, I want to thank you so much for sharing your insight today.
Thank you, Kevin. Good to see you.